Hey guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. Today I have got this makeup look for you. It's a little bit tonal. It's perfect for this transitional season between fall and summer. And it's a little bit dramatic, a little bit edgy. It's definitely all the things I love in a makeup look when it comes to warm tones, graphic, bold, and monochrome. Those are like my favorite things when it comes to makeup. So if you love any of those trends, then definitely keep watching and you'll see how I created this look. Because I was on vacation last week, I really didn't play around with makeup a lot, so I just kind of feel like doing something pretty dramatic and full coverage. I just feel like it's been so long since I've seen my face that way, so I just feel like mixing it up. So I'm just gonna hop in. The first thing I'm gonna do is go in with the Wet n Wild Photofocus Eye Primer. I'm gonna pop this all over. This is a really good product for my hooded and oily lids. Next up, just to prevent any creasing and to cover up any veins or anything on my lids, I'm just going to set that. So I'm going to be using this palest shade from the Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm going to set that all over the lid. So I'm going to do this a little bit backwards, and I'm actually going to start with my darkest color, which I know a lot of people don't suggest, but I just kind of feel like because this is a Colourpop shadow and it's more of a creamy texture, I feel like I want to start with this one versus the powder shadow that I'm going to utilize. This is Colourpop Melrose. This is in my 17 and 2017. And because I have lash extensions on right now, I don't want to go in right with my finger. I just don't want to irritate the lashes as much as I possibly can. So I'm going to use this little smudgy brush, and I am going to really work it into the brush without having like a lot of extra product on there. I use the lid to like really work the product in, and then I'm just going to pop that on to this outer portion. And I'm just going to buff out those edges as well. Now I'm going to go in with Colourpop Paper Tiger. This is a gorgeous like mustardy ochre kind of yellow shade. I adore this color, and I'm going to buff out the edges with this. And this will make this tone almost more of a warm brown. Love how it transforms it. It makes it feel like I'm wearing way more than two colors as well. I'm going to use the other side of this brush and just pop Paper Tiger onto the inner portion of the lid. So I'm just going to clean up the bottom. I did have a bit of fallout. I'm just going to use micellar water on a cotton pad. So this might be a little bit risky because I haven't used liquid liner in quite some time, but I feel like doing something a little bit edgy with my liner. So I'm going to create like a cat eye, and then I'm going to actually bring it in just a little bit to create like a triangular shape on the outer portion. I'm really nervous about this, so I'm going to be like dead silent and probably not breathing. So I've done a pretty standard wing. The end is not perfect. I actually kind of messed up on the end there, but I'm going to clean that up after. I'm just going to see my face straight on. Just going to adjust the mirror. See my face straight on and see where I want that inner portion to go. I think I want my wing to come upward more than I normally would have it. And then I'm just going to draw a line like that. Hopefully you can see the technique that I'm using. And that's an absolute mess right now because I haven't done anything like this in so long, but I'm just going to use cotton pad and a little bit of micellar water. I'm going to stop playing with it. I feel like no matter what, it's not going to be perfect, so I'm just going to try to do the other side, but I'm definitely going to do that off camera because this was really, really hard to do. So both wings are on. They are not at all symmetrical, but I'm not going to wipe it off and start over. It's just for a little bit of fun. So I am going to just keep moving forward. I am going to kind of deepen up the inside of the wing. So I'm going to go back into Colourpop Elixir, and I'm going to deepen up that inner portion of the wing. Now I'm going to go back into Paper Tiger and just buff out all those edges, and I'm going to bring this outside of the wing as well. So I'm going to start on my base. The product that I'm trying to use up at the moment actually is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, and I have this in the shade 3.5. It's a little bit too pale and a little bit too pink for me at the moment. So I'm gonna mix in these Cover FX custom cover drops. I've never tried to mix these two products together, but I'm gonna see how it goes. This is a little sample from Sephora, so don't even know what the shade is called, but I will put that in the description box. So I'm going to actually do this on like a little palette just because it's gonna get messy on my hand, I feel like. I'm gonna do maybe 2 pumps of the All Nighter and then like another drop of the Cover FX. And this is the color that I created by mixing the two together, and I think that's gonna be a pretty good match. So I'm just gonna dot that on with my fingers, and I'm gonna blend it in with the Beauty Blender. I didn't bring a Beauty Blender on my trip, so I'm really excited to use my Beauty Blender again, which sounds so ridiculous, but when you love beauty like I do, you kind of fall in love with your everyday essentials, and when you're without them, it just feels so weird. Damn, I feel really weird without brows right now. So I'm going to put a little bit of concealer underneath my eyes. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer under the eyes. So the concealer that I want to use on my spots is the Cover FX Cream Concealer. And this is the shade N Light, but I think it's just a little bit too light. So I'm going to just put in like the smallest portion of a drop of this. Probably not even going to drop it. I'm just going to like touch it to the palette. And then I'm just going to use my finger to apply it because I used it to mix it up. And before I set anything, I actually want to use a liquid highlight, which is not usually my style, but I just feel like I want to mix it up a little bit, and I'm using these e.l.f. highlighting dewdrops. I had to keep the box because e.l.f. products never say what they are on the actual product, and this is in the shade Illuminating. So I'm just going to pop that on the palette as well. So I just have like a fair amount of product here on the palette, and I'm going to use the side of my Absolutely Filthy Now Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to like dab it onto the palette and then pop that onto the top of my cheekbones. And it gives a little bit of glow, as you can see. It's not like anything too dramatic, which is my personal preference when it comes to highlighter. I'm going to set everything. I am going to also try to avoid this area, but I do need to set it just a little bit because it will slide on my oily skin. But the first product that I'm going to use is the Milani powder foundation, and this is in the shade Natural. I'm going to use that primarily on my cheeks and on my forehead where I have the majority of my discoloration, and then I'm going to set with a different powder under my eyes and on top of the highlight. I'm being a little bit high maintenance right now. Throw it on. And to set the center portion of my face as well as under the eyes, I'm going to use this Essence Color Correcting Mattifying Powder. And this is fairly translucent. I think it wouldn't work if you have any deeper skin than I do though, because it can look a little bit ashy. So my battery died after I set my base, so I decided to do my brows in the meantime. I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I also used the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara for this really like bushy and really undone sort of brow. I just couldn't keep looking at myself. I looked so alien without my brows. Although this is kind of a fall look, I feel like I still want to have a lot of bronze on my skin. I'm just not ready to let go of summer yet. So I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'm just going to use a stippling brush. I find that this applies best with it, and I'm bringing it up higher than I would bring a contour because I'm really just bronzing the skin. So it's to define and bronze all in one. So I want to finish up the eyes now. I'm going to basically reflect what I did on the top with the red on the outer portion and then the yellow on the inner portion. So I love the look of this all matte, but I actually feel like I just want to add a little bit of shine to this, and I want to just put it on the lower lash line. I'm going to use Colourpop Crimper. This shade is unfortunately discontinued, and I'm going to pop that just on the center of the lower lash line. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to pop into the inner corner. So the good thing about having lash extensions is that I don't have to add any mascara to the top lashes, but I really want to balance it out by putting a ton of mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm going to be using this Pixie mascara. This is the Lengthy Fibers, I believe. And now that I've got that gold on the lower lash line, I kind of feel like I want to intensify the highlight. So I'm going to just use the exact same highlight, the liquid one, and I'm going to pop it on using my finger because I'm kind of worried that it's going to disrupt the powder. I've never tried this way before, but I feel like my finger is going to help warm it into the skin and not pick up as much product. In order to keep everything from budging, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photofocus setting spray. I'm just going to spray that all over. So for lipstick, you could definitely go with a nude, you could go with a burgundy. There's so many different options that you could go with this eye, even though it is quite a dramatic eye. But I feel like I really want to wear Ofra Miami Fever because it is literally like the same shade as Melrose. So I just feel like I really want to do this tonal look. I wear Melrose and Miami Fever together quite often because I just feel like they're so perfect together. So I'm just going to apply it straight from the wand. And now that the liquid lipstick is on, here is the final look. I know that the eyeliner is far from symmetrical on both eyes, but I am really happy with the final result. I feel like this is a really cool look for this transitional time. I feel like there's nothing about it that's too fall or definitely not too summery, but it actually is perfect for this like middle ground kind of time that we are in right now. And really happy with the color scheme. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. I know that this was probably a bit of a mess. I'm gonna have a really hard time editing it, I feel like. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please let me know by liking it or commenting on this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.